Hello everybody, welcome to the AOR F7 PC Racing League Round 2 of the Championship. Unfortunately, I don't have any footage from Round 1 out Australia. I was on a different computer and I had to use a controller for that race, and it's safe to say in summary, it went pretty abysmally. After a good start, had an incident on lap 1 and the race was a bit of a mess. But I'm hoping for better things today. China, not my favourite of races, but I've put some practice in. I'm feeling pretty good with the wheel, so we'll see what we can do. So we're about to head out now for the first lap of quali, and really all I'm aiming to do is put a decent banker lap in. There's a lot of quick guys here, quicker than me, but we can see what we can try and do. So for this, I'm using 3.9 wings with 9 ballast. I was running higher ballast beforehand, but it was just a bit unstable in certain conditions, and with the way the weather can play in this track, not something I really wanted to take the risk of. But here we are, starting the lap, just trying to get a decent exit onto the start-finish straight, opening up the DRS. Bit of a safe exit onto this straight, but we're just trying to make this banker lap. So through the gears, going down the first corner, wide out, turn in hard. Car's constantly fighting against you. See, we're fighting the car. It's almost gone, but we've caught it. Down into second gear, getting the bite into the corners. Trying to really get good traction out of here. It's really difficult with the torque of this car, but we've got a decent exit, and that's the first couple of corners done. Really lose or gain a lot of time through there. So hard on the brakes at the 100-meter board, down in second gear. Decent entry into that corner, and then on the power again, trying to get good traction. Up in 7th gear as you turn in, just trying to have minimal resistance on the car, maintain speed, into the middle of the track, down into 5th, down into 4th, trying to get it turned in, hold it tight to the right, down into 3rd, and then on the power slowly. It's so easy to light up the rears here, increase tyre wear and spin out, but down at the chicane in 2nd gear 100-meter board, early short shift into 3rd gear, and now we're on the power. Once again, another difficult traction zone. Half of the problem with this track for me is the traction zone. It's the most difficult thing, but decent exit onto this back straight. So opening up DRS now, and now we can relax for just a little bit, but not for too long, because now we have the hairpin. Hard on the brakes at 100-meter board, down in 2nd gear, slightly run wide of the apex, but not too bad. Decent traction out of the corner. Past the car that's just lining up for a lap, I believe. Down 2 gears, decent exit, slightly wide, but not too bad. Opening up the DRS, and across the line for 133.0. Not a fantastic lap. My PB in time trials was 132.2, but here we're starting our second lap. Much better exit onto the start finish straight here to begin the lap. See what we can do. So up through gears and coming down into turn 1, wide in, cutting back, down through the gears. Cars letting go underneath us. It's just going, it's going, and we've stuck a wheel on the grass and it's gone. And that would be our qualifying session over. Just that one tiny mistake was enough just to lose the whole thing. But as you can see, Blakey did a great time, 132.4, 3,000th to take pole position at this track. We held 5th in the end with our first lap, which I was relatively happy with. I feel like we could have got 3rd if we'd done a better lap, but you can see times ranging all the way up to 135s here, probably some mistakes on the laps. But now, into the race. So for this I was going to do super softs up until lap 10, then medium stint all the way to the end of the race from there. Tyre wear is a big thing here, and I wasn't too confident in making the soft tyres last. As you can see, a little bit unsure when to make the change over on the tyres, but that's what we'll be running with. Ironically, after me accounting for possibly wet weather conditions by adjusting the ballast, it was going to be a completely dry race, but I was quite happy with that, because with a track I'm not so confident with, that's okay with me. So we're up on the grid, just waiting for everyone else to get started, and we're ready to go. There's tensions building, so we're bringing in the clutch, trying to get the revs to the right point, watching for the lights, and someone's made a false start, but we've got a good launch, and we're away. So up through the gears, we've got a bit of extra fuel, but we're not going to use that yet. So we're swooping around the outside, gone a bit deep, we've just about held it onto the track. You see we're coming across, holding our line, we've got cars at the inside of us, bit of contact here, and for some reason we've been given an illegal overtake warning. So I pull over to the side to let people pass. We lose 3 positions in doing so, As we're coming down into the next corner, we've got somebody on our inside, we break at 100 meter board, have to avoid the car in front. We go down second gear and there's been complete chaos in front of us, and we just swoop him in between, get 2 positions in one go. We've still got the guy on our right, so we're having to hold the line back down into 6th, just because on heavy fuel we can't quite do it. And that is us up into 4th position. So we come into turn 1, car in front of us look like he's struggling slightly for traction, actually catches me out and then I have to correct as well. But we're just trying to put pressure on him, keep trying to get good traction out of every zone. You can see he's really struggling, whether his tyres are overheating or his setup isn't accustomed to these tyres, I'm not sure. We go down into this hairpin, he locks up again, trying to get a good exit. He's gone slightly wide on the power, nice and clean driving. Going through here into the fast left, into 7th gear, just trying to hold him middle track. He's gone a bit wide. We come into here, he's gone very wide in here. Thought about going for a move on the right side, but held back. Going for the cutback instead, trying to get drive out of here, and we do have a better run. Again, he's on the power, and there's been chaos up ahead. Blakey has had a major incident, he's slowing up now, so I'm letting them fight in front of me, just trying to keep it nice and tight, get a really nice drive onto this right-hander, cutting back in, on the power nice and early, down the inside, having to let off slightly just to give him room. We're on the power and then into rich mixture, and we are side by side down the back straight. At this point I thought I'm definitely going to get the guy in front, but the Red Bull behind us has got a better exit than either of us, and he's got a massive toe. So I now have to cover the inside because of him as well, really tight, 3 wide into the hairpin, down the gears, into 2nd gear, run side wide, but we do hold the position, we go into 3rd place. Really happy with that. So now we're on lap 3, we're trying to chase down Blakey. So we're down, coming into here, once again short shifting into 3rd, trying to get a good run onto the back straight here. You can see up ahead he's losing it, tank slapper onto this straight, gets a terrible run. So we're coming down here, trying to get into the toes, a little bit of lag, so I pull out of the slipstream probably a bit earlier than I would have liked. We do have DRS at this point, so we are coming down into the hairpin, side by side, heavy on the brakes, trying to hold it. And we do get the position, but he does have a better exit out of the hairpin on us. He is on the outside, so we're having to stay slightly tight because he is still side by side. He then gets a brilliant run onto the back straight. We put it into rich mix, trying to cover it, but now he has DRS on us. And as you can see, just gets us on the straight. I think he was running 2 on the front wing as well, so I think he had higher top speed. But yeah, nicely done. Great battle there, wheel-to-wheel racing. But he does get the position back. So now it's just a case of trying to build up to another overtake again. He seems to be a little bit uncertain on his tyres, making a few mistakes. So we come back here onto lap 4, further along the lap. Out of here, once again you can see him just losing it on the rear. So I was saying that traction zone is so difficult, especially on heavy fuel. So coming down here, he makes a bit of a lock up. We stay nice and tight again. So we're trying to come back across, trying to get a great drive onto this right-hander. He's drifting slightly wide, he's trying to stay on the power. We've got a decent run, we're into rich fuel mixture, we're in the tow, and we are going to have DRS. So at this point, just trying to line up move, was a bit far back, but then really started to build up speed. So we fake going out to the outside, back down to the inside, almost lose the back end because of DRS being open. Goes slightly deep into the corner, and he gets the cut back on us. When I did not account for how loose the back of the car would be with DRS, and almost lost it going into there, but great racing again. Once again he runs a bit deep into this corner. This right-hander does seem to be the best place we can get it. We don't actually get a particularly fantastic exit, but he gets another tank slapper. He's out onto the curb, just trying to hold onto the car, and we have so much more speed on him into rich mixture. DRS, pulling out of the slipstream a little bit early just not to lose the wing, and we've got the move done nice and early. So now just steady onto the brakes, get it turned in, make sure we don't do anything stupid, decent exit, and that is us up into P2. So now really just trying to close down the gap in front of us. You can see 4.4 seconds, 4.1. We're bringing it down slowly lap by lap. I was really happy on these tyres, and we were just eating into that gap. So coming in now for our pit stop, down into 2nd gear, nice and tight. Don't want to repeat of Hamilton from 2007. Down to the speed limit, nice and easy. Don't want to get a speeding penalty. Did that in Australia. Don't want to see that again. So we are coming in for the medium tyres, and we will be running those until the end of the race. We're really trying to make use of the undercut strategy here. So we want to come out in clean air, put some fast laps in, make use of the fresh tyres, and really make headway into the gap that the guy in front of us has. So coming out of the pits, speed limiter off, we're coming out down to turn 1, and we've got traffic right in front of us. One of the Sauers from the midfield that I believe started on harder compound tyres has come out in front, and that really is not what we wanted. So by the end of this lap, we've coming down to this chicane. He's locked up, he's struggling on his tyres, and this really does seem to be where we make some ground on people. So we're getting a nice exit through here. You can see he's a little bit twitchy. We're coming up behind him, staying in the tow, we're going up into rich mixture, and we will be getting a nice good run, DRS open into the hairpin, pull out of the slipstream a bit early just in case the lag takes off our wing. We've got the move basically done. He's still on our outside, so I have to give him a bit of room. He does try to get the cut back, but he hasn't got the traction on those tyres, and that is us back into our position. So really, it hasn't worked out quite how we planned, because we've lost time to the guy in front of us, and as you can see, we now have Blakey coming up behind us, closing the gap. It was 5 seconds, now it's 3.5. On these medium tyres, just don't seem to have the pace. I think my time trial base sort of setup just really wasn't happy with tyre wear and on harder compounds, which is a fault of mine which I'll carry through to try and improve on. But Blakey has let through his teammate, Force India's Wattmaster, who, if you remember, was the one that jump started, and it's quite clear he has phenomenal pace here, certainly far quicker than I am. So we're coming through here on turn 1, a bit shaky. He actually goes up for a move on the inside, give him a little bit of room, tiniest amount of contact, but hold the position for now, just trying to get good traction. But that incident at turn 1 has compromised our line, and now he has a very decent run onto us into turn 3. We're on the brakes, trying to defend, tight line, covering the position, and we've held it for now. Even now, he actually thinks about going up on the inside into this corner, but we hold it, just trying to keep it nice and tidy. He's definitely got better tyres than we do at the moment, but we're trying to make do. Down to third gear, he's still all over the back of us, trying to just keep it nice and clean, decent traction out there as we go up here, back down the gears at the 100-metre board into second, short shift up to third for the long right-hander. So now, trying to get good run out of here, and the thing is, we're still slightly marginal on fuel. We can't stay in rich mixture forever, and as you can see, just trying to wheeze slightly down the track, break the toe up, and then all of a sudden the thing's slightly out of lag, but yeah, he's far closer than we expected, covering the inside, down into second gear. He gets the cut back on us, and with those fresher tyres, he's got fantastic traction out the corner, but I think slightly aggressive, spins up the wheels, and then has to back out of it. So we do hold the position for now, so we're back onto start-finish straight, starting lap 24, and we are having to defend hard, and all of this is allowing Blakey to catch back up to the pair of us as we're battling. So see, run slightly wide, almost end up doing a brake check on Wattmaster in a sense, because we started having a bit of an issue, and that has compromised our line coming out here again. So we're trying to get a good run, so coming down to this corner, braking 100 metres, we're slightly cautious, and he's gone down the inside. We're trying to, we've opened up steering, we're trying to give him a bit of contact's been made, but he has made the move stick. But trying to follow him through here, he's taking a bit of a different line. We're just trying to stay close, because if nothing else, we can get DRS on them for at least one lap. You can see he's run wide out this corner. We could actually come back on this. So trying to get a good exit through here, get better drive than him. We've closed that gap back down again, so if we can just get through the chicane cleanly, we might be able to do something. So he's locked up, we haven't, down in second gear, short shift up into third, and trying to get a good exit, and just don't have the traction to really be able to do anything. And even with rich fuel mixture and DRS, it's just not happening, and with that, Wattmaster has taken the position off us, and now, with 4 laps to go, we have to be worried about Blakey behind us, because all of our battling has closed up on us, and even though Wattmaster's small lock up at the end of the hairpin there, nothing that we could capitalise on. So now lap later, and as you can see, Blakey has caught up to us and he's now very much on the back of us. So we're coming through the right-hander, trying as ever to get decent traction, but you can see our tyres are just fading and it's just becoming more and more difficult to hold on to this position. Trying to break the toe, realise I might be able to get a little bit of a distant toe off what miles are in front of us, just to try and hold the position if possible. Coming down into the hairpin, braking nice and early. He does actually look slightly on the inside, we have to give him just enough room. Nice wheel-to-wheel racing there, neither of us made contact, but it was as close as you like. Coming through here, you can see he's right on the back of us all the time, constantly challenging. And now he will have DRS on us coming up into turn 1. I start to cover the inside because I know he's going to have a run and just can't get it turned in enough, and he swoops in. We try to get the cut back on the inside, it's very close, it's just a tiny bit of contact. We then try to cut back again through turn 2. We do actually get a bit of a better run, we're back on the power. The fresher tyres that he has, our extra tyre wear just has not allowed us to keep his position, and we try to cut back again. You can see we have a better line and we try to get the power on, but we just cannot do it, and we're having to save fuel as well. But now I knew that Blakey had a penalty, so all we needed to do was stay within at least 3 seconds of him. So we hold him around the 1 second mark, and then coming into the final lap, I already had 2 warnings, so I took the hairpin in the final corner quite cautiously, you can see, but just clean but reasonably quick through here, make sure not to get any sort of corner cut. As we come across onto the start-finish straight and across the line, that is us up into 3rd position. So Blakey pulled out 1.6 seconds on us, but we have taken the podium, and as you can see, our very happy Toro Rosso driver. Unusual to see such a team on the podium, but fantastic race by the Renault driver up at the front. I spoke to him after the race, and he had a plan all along. His setup and his strategy was all done to minimise tyre wear, and he made it last, and he did fantastically well. Master had immense pace. Maybe if he hadn't have got that false start, he could have actually been in contention to win. But as you can see, we have come in 3rd place, and I am very happy with that. Quite a spread out field, and it's all been a very exciting Grand Prix. So a far more successful 2nd round to this championship than I had in the 1st. Baku later on this week, and not a favourite track of mine, probably because I haven't done a lot of racing on it, but I will be putting in the practice and we shall see what we can do. So thank you very much for joining me. This series will be continuing through this AOR season. I hope to see you again, and for now, it's goodbye.